Honestly, I can't wait to take this thing to a tournament because it feels good.
I'm Rocker Gaming, and I build and design some of the most ridiculous GameCube controllers out there. So a few months ago, Red Bull came up to me and they asked me to build the perfect controller for Smash Bros. God Plup. But there was one catch, which is we weren't going to tell him about it. I'm Rocker Gaming, and this is Plup's perfect Smash controller. Now, given this controller is going to Plup, I really want to take some time to do some planning and design an aesthetic around something that he's going to like. And well, we got some homework to do. After reading a whole bunch of tweets and basically going full stalker mode, here's what I was able to find. He's gonna need some bald buttons, and what bald buttons are is basically shaving down the top layer of the button to make them ultra smooth and remove any indentations in them. As a result of that, it should make the game easier for him to play as he slides his thumb across the face buttons of the controller. Next, we're gonna have to put in some notches, and based on Plup's playstyle and the characters he uses, we're gonna need a combination of both Firefox notches as well as Wave Dash notches. And finally, I actually went on one of Plup's live streams and started asking him questions. Now, he had no idea it was me or what I was doing, but thankfully he answered my questions. And what I was able to ascertain from that is that Plup really likes to only use the R trigger for doing his shield. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little half spring in there, and that should allow him to both light shield and hard shield more easily. And I really want to preserve this controller and make it true luxury that will stand the test of time. So for that, I'm thinking that we try to get this thing made out of aluminum and have it CNC machined. This will make it both absolutely beautiful as well as extremely durable. Plup's favorite game is Super Metroid. Plup has a very special connection to the main character of the game, Samus, because that's the character he used in Super Smash Bros. Melee to really burst onto the scene all those years ago. Now, if any of you had the opportunity to actually complete Super Metroid, you might be familiar with this logo right here. I want to take some inspiration from this logo and apply it to Plup. And while admittedly this is an incredibly rough Sharpie image, it does give you at least an idea of what we can go for. I think what we need to do is pull this into the computer and start doing some 3D modeling in Fusion 360.
So what I've done is added some cut-throughs, and these cut-throughs will go completely through the shell, and they're supposed to be representative of the Emmy door that Samus would walk through in Metroid Dread. Next, I've taken that really horrible Sharpie drawing and turned it into a beautiful 3D model of a Samus-inspired P for Plup.
So after getting all this work done in Fusion 360, I immediately had to run off and resin 3D print one of these shells. What we're gonna attempt to do is CNC machine one of these. Now, if you don't know what CNC machining is, it's basically gonna start with a block of solid aluminum, and then the machine's gonna come in and cut it down to form it into this controller. For the colors, I want this thing to be intimidating and elegant, so we're going with black and gold. So let's send these files over to the machine shop, and then let's get started on some buttons. So for these buttons, we're gonna make them out of gold. Real 24 karat gold. I was able to find some of this 24 karat ultra pure gold powder. And my plan is to cold cast some 24 karat gold buttons.
All we're gonna do is make a silicone mold of those buttons. Once that silicone mold has been made, we're gonna take a little bit of that gold ultrafine powder and we're gonna coat the inside of the mold with it. Once that's been coated, we can then take a mixture of the 24 karat gold powder and some resin, and then we can cast that into the mold we created. Man, these buttons turned out absolutely beautiful, but you know, we kind of need a shell to put them in, and I just got a phone call from the machine shop and they told me that this thing's ready.
Alright, I just got this thing back from Designcraft and I am so excited to crack this thing open. Dang, yo, check this out. Alright, well, hold on. There is one test I need to try. If these two shells don't mate, we've got a serious problem on our hands. Now, it should mate. The 3D model and the 3D prints all mated, but oh my good God. Long and short, those shortcuts have resulted in these two shells not being able to mate. And unfortunately, it basically leaves me with two options. Option number one, I send it back to Designcraft. It's gonna cost me some money, but more importantly, it's gonna cost me several weeks of time. Option two, I Dremel this thing. it's time to take this controller and we're gonna ship it out to my good friend Rian. And Rian is gonna go ahead and add some notches into the control gate over here. Super Smash Bros. Melee is a very technical game, and it requires very precise inputs from the player. Those notches will make it much easier for Plup to execute those moves on a more consistent basis. For internals, we had to set our guy up with just the finest stuff available. So over here, I've got a Goomwave DX motherboard. Now, in addition to the Goomwave DX board, I had to design some of my own modifications as well. And my design philosophy when making all these was really to pay homage to Plup's community with monikers you'll see throughout his Twitch streams, as well as memes. This is a snapback reduction board. What that'll do is reduce any snapback as he's playing the game. This is a Shinewave board, which was designed by KingCurb64 and myself, and what it is a reactive LED mod. So as Plup's playing the game, LEDs will animate to what he's doing on screen. So the only parts we're going to use from the OEM GameCube controller are as follows. The cable, we're going to modify that a little bit as well. These button pads, which there will be no modification to. And finally, this trigger hardware right here. Alright, I just got this package back from Rian and I'm excited to crack it open and check out the notch work she did. This looks absolutely awesome. These notches look perfect. I guess with that, it's time to send this thing on to anodizing.
So for those of you who don't know what anodizing is, it's a way to color aluminum and give it near diamond level scratch resistance. My buddy Mario over at FX Anodizing does amazing work, and I'm sure he's going to kill it on this. So the first step is to polish this thing up into a high gloss finish and get it so shiny that you can see your reflection in it. Once all that polishing is complete, it's time to go into the anodizing bath. And you already know what colors this thing's going to be. Let's get it into that gold bath and let's start this coloring process. Now once the controller's been dyed gold, a mask is applied to it. We're going to toss it into the black tank and get some black dye on there. And with that last bit of color applied, we can admire this absolutely beautiful anodized job.
Alright, it's time to get this thing assembled. Alright, with all that work finally done, we can send this thing over to Plup. So let's get it boxed up and out the door.
How's it going?
Hey Plup, what's happening, dude?
Yeah, should I like bust it open now? Check it out?
Yeah, so glad to finally have this opportunity to show you what I've been working on for the past several months.
This thing is so heavy, man.
Oh yeah.
This is a monster.
Yeah, it is a monster. It's an absolute beast.
So wait, give it to me straight. What is this thing made of?
It's actually made from 6061 T3 aluminum, and we spent some time doing some research on you and, you know, trying to figure out what you might like. And so we went for a Samus-inspired P for Plup on there, as well as making some cut-throughs on there that are reminiscent of the Emmy door in Metroid Dread.
Wow.
But dude, the buttons are cold cast from 24 karat gold.
Why did you guys go so hard on this thing?
Now for the gate, we had to hand notch that thing to fit your playstyle with a combination of both Wave Dash notches and of course Firefox notches to fit your playstyle.
Yeah, absolutely. I was wondering how that went, because these notches look really precise for how insanely heavy this is.
It's legit.
Yeah, I bet it was hard.
Yeah, so this has a Shinewave in it, and basically what that is a reactive LED mod. So as you're interacting with the controller, it will react to what you're doing. And it works both with single button presses as well as combos, dude.
Oh my god, the combinations. I didn't even realize that. What?
Yeah.
I was just pressing one button, but it's actually combos. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. So the best part is these animations are set up for your three main characters, right? So we got Fox, we got Sheik, and of course we had to throw Samus in there for you because, hey, we got history, man.
So wait. I noticed it's probably on Fox mode, but it turns red when I press B.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, man. Gotta have those combos.
You like hit every single move that I use a lot, I noticed. You like hit all the good Samus moves. It's cool.
Yeah, dude. The rest of the controller is actually loaded up with all kinds of custom tech, and we made it super clean by getting these like one-off custom PCBs made.
That's so good.
Yeah, you know, rounding out the rest of the controller, we've got a nice clear bag shell, and of course a really nice paracorded cable because, dude, you know we ain't leaving anything in this thing stock.
Oh, I love how it feels. It's just like so much meatier than any other controller I've had. You could kill somebody with this thing. Honestly, I can't wait to take this thing to a tournament because it feels good. Like I tried it and it actually feels like a controller that I can see myself using in tournaments. So I'm just excited for it. Yeah, thanks again though. This is the coolest thing ever. This is amazing.